very interesting. Star day, which means delaying or being late. And that's exactly what Toastmasters meeting is not about. And the responsibility goes to the sergeant at arms to ensure that the meeting starts on time. And then eventually timer ensures that we are not delayed in our speeches and we ensure that we maintain the timeline. So punctuality and maintaining timings are very important part of our meeting. And today, I'm Pooja Kotesha and I'll be playing the role of Sergeant Arms in today's meeting. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome all the guests present here. I welcome you all to the 486th meeting of the Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. So the mission of our club, the reason why we gather here every week, especially this is important for the guests to know, the reason why we meet here is the mission of our club is to provide a very supportive and learning environment in which members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the president of our club, Toastmaster Pradyum. He's an alumni from St. Columbus School. He's very hardworking, and we've seen his leadership skills already, how under his leadership, club has seen such positive transformation and so much of improvement in past few months. Also, Toastmaster Pradyum loves to interact with new people, loves traveling. Let's call upon Toastmaster Pradyum on the physical stage.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Great. Before starting off, let's take 30 seconds of silence for world peace. Thank you, everyone. Now, as Toastmaster Pooja rightly mentioned, I love to talk to new people, I love to explore new places. But as you all know, whenever you talk to anyone new, you hit that dreaded barrier of small talk. What to talk about? What do I talk about with this new stranger except for the weather, except for the cricket scores, except for their daily life of what they do? And through all my expeditions of talking to new strangers, I realized that there's one thing that we need to do whenever talking to a new stranger to jump across this barrier of small talk, and that is taking risks. Now, you might be saying, what are risks in conversation? I understand risks in life, I understand risks in stocks, but what are risks in conversation? Risks in conversation could simply be me talking to someone and me giving them a small compliment. Me talking to Toastmasters and telling him that that shirt looks damn good on you. And these small compliments, there's something very curious, something very unique about that stranger. As soon as you point that out, you forget that small talk. You forget that you're strangers. It almost as if feels like, oh, okay, wait a minute. I think we've known each other for quite some time, haven't we? And so from that moment onwards, a conversation between not two strangers, two friends starts off. This was something that I learned through my expeditions. And the second thing is that no matter how popular you get, people are not interested. No matter where you go in life, people are always interested in them, and they're always thinking about themselves. So as long as you make them talk, you're going great. As long as you can tap into their mind, tap into what makes this person unique, what is this person's hobbies, what makes this person who he or she is, that is the moment where you fall in the person. Moving on, we have a lot of guests today with us. We would like each and every guest to come up on stage, tell us who they are, what do they do, and how did they come to know about Central Delhi Toastmasters. We can start off with guest Dhanil. Guest Dhanil, please come on stage.
Yeah, very nice, friend. Everybody are enthusiastic. I love to join the club. Okay, I am Sanil. I am working in Engineers India Even though I have good experience, I'm very weak in communication and I do not get any good platform. So I thought I will join here. Presently, I'm working in Mangalore.
How did you come to know about Toastmasters?
Yeah, I have seen the internet and I have some friends already in that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Next up, we have guest Dana with us. You please come up on stage, tell us who you are, what you do, and how do you come to know about Toastmasters?
Hello everyone, this is Natasha and I am a productivity coach. I help people to enhance their productivity and I am not new to Toastmaster. I have been a Toastmaster in 2015 and 16. That's a long story. So today I was here for my friend who backed out because because of some of his important meeting in Chanakapuri and he will get late. Finally, I'm here. Thank you.
Would you please come up on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how do you come to know about Toastmasters? All right, sir, it is. Kavya. Kavya. Yes, we have guest Kavya with us.
So I'm Kavya and I'm currently doing engineering from IB University. I came to know about Toastmasters from my mother actually. So I'm here today. Thank you for it.
Next, we have guest Akhil with us. Guest Akhil, would you please come on stage?
Hi everyone, I'm Akhil. Basically, I'm working in Power Finance Corporation, EP only. I came here because of my friend. He told me about the activity and session today, so he just brought me. And I'm a chartered accountant by profession, so I'm good with numbers, auditing, and everything. But yeah, a bit of communication might be lacking or something, so I also tried to give it a try today. So I'm here.
Next up, we have guest Saurabh with us.
I am Saurabh Mandal. I also work in Power Finance Corporation like Akhil. So I'm working as an HR for the company. I knew about Toastmasters for a long time. Like I graduated from Accelerate Jamshedpur. So there we had a club. So I was not an active participant there, but I'm looking forward to from here on to attend these sessions and make new friends there. So, thank you.
I would also like to welcome our ex-Toastmasters, Toastmaster Sinan and Toastmaster Shivali, today here with us on the meeting. Could you please come up on the stage and tell us something about your journey at Toastmasters?
So I am Digant Mittal, and I am by profession I am a financial professional, a British chartered accountant, having my own startup in investment as well as having some. So I am over here, and in some time I will introduce more about.
Without any further ado, I would now like to call upon our Toastmaster with a dashing green shirt. Let us have on stage Toastmaster Uday, Toastmaster Nitin.
Well, Ritvik, this is my rule. One thing at a time and become the master. Well, I remember those days when I was working as a correspondent in the PR department of our club under the VP of PR, Meher Kaur. And she gave me this statement after I learned about the first hand experience of Canva. The Canva was something I was never used to, and I was never interested in graphic designing, as my tenure in BPPL clearly says. Whatsoever, I can tell you something. That day, when Meher had given me this particular suggestion of picking up one thing at a time, mastering the one, and then only going for the next one is something I I will cherish throughout my life. Now, this may actually seem very normal. We have all heard of similar kind of quotes in our lives, but still, somewhere or the other, we all got to accept this. We all jump from one thing to the other, all simultaneously, and end up doing nothing. So therefore, today's theme will be revolving around the topic of how to kiss one star only one at a time. That is simply achieving your goals, moving forward, achieving them obviously, and then going to the next star, not before that. Now, this is something I have deciphered throughout my experiences of this small 21-year journey of my life. But still, I believe in some way or the other, given my involvements in different domains all throughout my life, I can say this is pretty holistic and comprehensive in its own way. Therefore, I personally believe if you would ask me the reason behind jumping from one thing to other all at the same time to achieve everything at once is this simple thing, getting a shortcut to success. We all got to accept this who doesn't love shortcuts. But is it really sustainable in the long run? We got to judge ourselves. At the same time, having impractical goals is also something we got to accept, which acts as a hindrance to our goals. Now, I'll be talking and expanding on all these explanations in my future parts. But now, let me tell you the structure of today's meeting, which is basically going to be some people with some prepared speeches coming up on the stage, giving you a 7-minute speech. Well, these are the speeches which have been prepared before the session, before this. Now, guess what? There are certain times in our life where we will actually be not be getting this particular time to prepare, as the guests who were invited on the stage have actually experienced. You always do not get the time to prepare, right? Now, for to prepare yourself for moments like this, maybe starting a small talk, or giving a compliment, or maybe going to a crush and starting a conversation is something that this particular segment, the second segment, will really help you. It is none other than the most interesting, I think I find the most interesting part of the session, the table topic segment. Guests are kindly requested to please participate in the segment. This is actually for you guys, if I can take it in that way. Now, what is that progress? What is that test? What is that action? If we do not evaluate ourselves, if we do not have a check on the progress we have made, most importantly, if you actually want to have a gauge on your progress, first you need to let down all those particulars on the page. Now, what are the particulars? What are the parameters on which you're going to measure yourself? Now, for that, we have a special officer, I would say a role player, the GE herself, coming on the stage and giving an individual evaluation of all the people who have come on the stage, so that you have a report card throughout the session, throughout the month, throughout the year, and have a watch whether those short-term and long-term goals of you being a Toastmaster are getting fulfilled or not. Now, without any further ado, let me first bring on the stage my battalion of role players. The first one being the human stopwatch, someone who will be having a note of your time. None other than the timer of the day, CA Brother, on the virtual single stage.
Okay, so thanks for the topic. Today I saw the agenda and I was like confused. What's the topic? Like kissing a star one at a time. I was confused. I called her Ritvik. So, yeah. So today my role is to time you guys on your speeches or table topics. So on the speeches we have level 3 speeches in which I will show green card at 5 minutes,
yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. And other time, and other table to affect your session, I will show green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. At the time of evaluation, I will show green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at 3 minutes. So please adhere to the time and do not shoot it.
And for the report timer. Well, let's now move forward to the language evaluator of today's evening, TM Anmol. When I asked him what is the time of your life when you actually failed at something, when you didn't have focus, his answer was his 11th board exam. Now, for the board exam, what? No, it was 11th exam. So let's move forward. Let's go forward with the next evaluator. Sorry, language evaluator. No clapping, I guess. Thank you so much.
No, we all were confused, like.
Yes, even I was. That's a part of the language. That's going to come in the evaluation section. So, thank you so much, Timur, for the brilliant introduction. Now, since our theme of the day is kissing the stars one at a time and conquering our sort of fears one at a time, I thought of conquering one of my fears yesterday, and one of my worst fears was maths. Yes, folks, maths was the worst thing that can ever happen to a person. So I tried to do this reasoning question paper, and I had this really bad habit of skipping the math section every time they used to come up because I always love the alphabetical section. I have this thing about letters. So, but in general, I thought now I'm gonna face this fear. How hard could it be, right? Turns out it was pretty hard. So after 40 minutes of sitting on one question, failed equation after failed equation, I got to know this that you can solve this equation in a very simple method. All you have to do is use the right sign for the right equation and the right number, and voila, the equation is solved. The same way, the right use of grammar can be used in a speech to make it near perfect. Now, that's where I come in. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Anmol, and I'll be a language evaluator of the day. I'll be pointing out the good uses and bad uses of English. Now, our word of the day is tardy. It's an adjective which means to be late beyond the expected time. Examples in speech could be used as please excuse my tardiness, or he came tard. He was tardy to a meeting, or whatever. Even a language evaluator. Don't worry, language evaluators are not perfect. So I urge everyone to use the word of the day as much as possible, and I request to show a thumbs up whenever the word of the day is used. Thank you, everyone. And also, the mode of language is English. So whoever is speaking in any other language other than English, it is requested for them to translate the said sentence or a word in English. Thank you all. That's all from my side. I'll be back in the evaluation segment with my evaluation. Back to our team. If being tardy was a crime, I must have been the most wanted criminal out. Whatever. Let's move forward to the next role player. It's none other than a counter of today's evening, TM Kanaguria.
So in life we have some pillars, which is why I am doing this. What's the worth of it? And should I be doing something else? So recently, I find some humor to tackle it. Recently, I had a dengue last week only. So what I said to myself is, तेरी प्लेटें कम हुई हैं, कटोरी चम्मच अभी भी ठीक है. So it can't be translated to English. Humor खराब हो जाएगा. So that my role today is to count hours and ums of everyone, and I'll keep a tag whether you are using the filler sounds which are like, so, whatever. And with that, I'll come back with my report.
Well, as far as focus is concerned and the progress we always keep have in mind, let's also have a look at the accountant itself. A person who came on the stage used to, stumble on the stage, this word, something like that, and then going up on the stage today, and his biggest fault was always standing here and keeping his hand on the table. And today, the whole tenure of his speech, he was standing here and giving pretty confident speech. So let's clap for him. This is the word of focus. If you notice, not a single time in the table topic segment in so many meetings in the last 2 3 months when he was there, I don't think there was a single meeting when he didn't raise his hand. So therefore, perseverance, a very important quality of winning, and why we start with one. Without any further again, let's bring on the next role player of today's evening, the listener, Mr. Rajiv on the stage.
So today I'm playing the role of the listener, which is also very important for personal, professional, either you're in school or you're at the airport or anywhere traveling around the world. So for example, the teaching starts at one of the time. Just say for example, your friends tell you that you're going to the airport. You have to go to the check-in counter, and after that get security clearance, and then go to the respective airport wherever you are assigned respective gate. And you don't follow things one by one. Where do you end up? And if you also don't listen the airport announcement, if they say your flight is from gate number 5, you turn up to the gate number 7, then you end up missing the flight. So the theme of the day is very well, getting the start one point at one at a time. So that means that you listen to everyone slowly and properly. So my role as a listener is to ensure that today's speech by the speakers, I'll be noting down some of the, the words, some of the questions that questions or answers they will be framing, and then posing it at the end of the day. I'll be also ensuring that, sorry, I missed it. So I'll be framing the question at the end of the meeting, and I'll be requested to present when I become in the next session. Each speaker who is going to come here, either is it regular speaker or anybody, I'll be posing questions from them, and then I'll be also giving the goodies at the end of the day. Sorry, I'm still confused. So sorry, I'm confused. So thank you.
Well, you fumbled with your section, but then you said about the goodies. All your sins are all mine. Well, let's now move forward to the parliamentarian, I guess. Please come on the stage. And he is the so-called professor of today's evening. I would say always call this thing to the parliament. He'll be keeping a check on certain things he'll be speaking on. Please on the stage. Thank you.
In Toastmasters, I have mentored many people, more than 50. And one of them, and one of the best ones, was Pooja Chauhan. So, when Pooja came to Toastmasters, and she was talking to me, she said, "Digant, I want to learn negotiation. I want to learn team building. I want to learn public speaking. I want to learn many other things." Pooja, just wait. These things are going to be there, but in a set order. Don't be tardy about your growth, but don't be rushing also regarding your growth. Step by step. Being in Toastmasters, among other things, is like a river, which if breaks its boundaries, then floods are there. We use so much creativity in Toastmasters. It's good, but we have to also adhere by certain rules. And the rules for the meeting, as I am parliamentarian for the meeting, I'm laying before you. First one is everyone should keep the audio muted at all times unless there is a need to speak. The phones should be kept silent throughout the meeting because we don't want any loud announcements regarding your calls and messages. Videos should be turned on at all times during the meeting. Members should enter and exit during the applause because as Toastmasters, when we arrive, people applaud. When we go, people applaud for our performance. And then members shouldn't indulge in any form of eating while on screen. This is the most important thing because we know that what you are eating is delicious. So don't show it to us. Eat it after the meeting or off the camera. No negative references to caste, race, or class should be made. Sex, politics, and religion. Regarding these topics, they are not taboo, but speakers need to be sensitive if they choose to speak about them. So I will be taking note of all these things throughout the meeting and will be delivering my report when called upon by student dispatch. Over to you.
Even kissing the stars is not a taboo, but please be sensitive while doing that. Well, now is the time for bringing on the people who have prepared certain for today's delight. Well, let's not waste any time and bring on the first prepared speaker of today's evening. It's none other than the very new in our club, Toastmaster Raghav Luna on the stage. But, before that, let's bring on his evaluator, TM Rashmi, on the virtual stage. TM Rashmi, the stage is all yours.
A very good evening to all the Toastmasters present there and their guests. And a special evening to Toastmaster Raghav Luna. Today I'm going to act as an evaluator, and let me tell you that he's going to deliver his level 1 project 3 speech under the pathway Persuasive Influence. The evaluation form clearly depicts that he has to work on enhancing his vocal variety through his speech. Well, it is very much in sync with what our Toastmaster has said today. Work on one skill at a time. So I hope Toastmaster Raghav Luna will definitely work on enhancing this skill while working on other skills as well. And let me not be tardy and wish him all the very best for his wonderful speech. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Now bringing on the stage with his speech title, A Curve That Straightens Everything. A curve that straightens everything, TM Raghav.
So, good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I am having a little sore throat, so please cooperate with me. First of all, I am going to take a picture of my CDTM family. I want everyone to please put those emotions on their faces which they put when their photograph is clicked. Okay, so please. This is not coming. Okay. Now it's good. So this is my CDTM family, a beautiful family of mine. My second family, I should say. So in this picture, there is a constant element. Can anyone tell what is the constant element? Smile. Exactly. Smile. It is a gesture which we do not learn, but it is pre-programmed in our mind. It is an expression which we express a lot of our times in our daily life. So there can be a lot of reasons to smile, right? Like having your favorite food, talking to your favorite person, playing your favorite game, celebrating your birthday. And for the CDTM family, sometimes listening to Toastmaster Kanak, he makes us smile a lot, right? So, smile is not an outcome of an event or a moment. It's an instant reaction when we feel happy from inside. So, smile is something which, without using any words, communicates that we are happy and and acceptance we express from smiling. And smiling is it is a fact that is smile stimulates our brain. I could- Smile stimulates our brain mechanism, which brain mechanism, which um, brain mechanism in a way that eating a chocolate, which is like regarded um, eating a chocolate, which is regarded as pleasure giver, cannot match. So, smile is not the thing which only boosts our mind, but also increases the level of endorphins and dopamine, which also helps to reduce pain, reduce stress, um, increase. Today I'm high on medication. Thank you, brother. Increasing endurance and strengthening our immune system. So, studies have told us that if you smile, even if you are in a bad mood, you will start feeling better after some time. You might think that that sounds stupid, but if you don't believe it, you must try it. It's just an act of smile, which can trigger the happiness chemicals in your brain. So, it is like smile.
You can smile, no worries. No worries.
To smile, you have often heard this expression that smile, the world would smile with you. And I believe that's actually true. If uh, I would say that smile is contagious and infectious, which just transfers from person to person. Like if someone smiles at us, we smile back, right? So, but unfortunately, in today's day and age, we have a high stress and anxiety level due to which we are forgetting this gesture of smiling. This this is the thing that is inevitable. Like all of us are struggling and stuck somewhere to achieve something in life. So it is really important to note that it is not the problem with you. It is also a thing that is constant with everybody. So you are on the driving seat. You are the driver. You are the one who has to check where where your vehicle will go. So the studies have showed that the children throughout a day laugh for smile for around 400 times per day compared to an average happy adult who smiles for around 40, 50 times in a day. And a typical adult like me, who smiles for like 20 times around in a day. So that's the problem. So a case study was done in which we found that if someone is, if the person doesn't smile often throughout the day, that person is not understandable to the other person. Like that is why that person is misjudged and misread by the other person. And it is deemed that the person who smiles more often is more honest than the person who doesn't smile that much. So just for ourselves, so just for ourselves and the people around us, let's take some time, do things that we love, meet people that we love to spend time with, connect with the people that can help you to get happiness and grow, which we are already doing that because we are the part of CDTM. And yes, so yeah, just put the ornament of smile on your face because it's a curve that straightens everything. Thank you.
So my takeaway from today's speech, put the ornament of smile on your face because it's a curve that straightens the way. Another big huge round of applause. Now, when I asked someone, what was your times of your life when you failed at something, you were not focused at? He calls himself a successful failure. He thinks I'm the result of my failure and very boastfully. It's something we can actually learn, not to show away, not to go away from our failures, something we have failed, rather boast of them, take them, and learn from them and move in future. Well, the one whom I learned this is none other than the next speaker of today's segment, TM Arvind. But before I call him on the stage, I'll be calling his evaluator on the stage, which is none other than the VPPA of CDTM, TM Navya, on the stage.
Okay, I thought Arvind was the third speaker. Good evening, everyone. I'll be his evaluator today. Arvind will be delivering his level 1 project C speech under the pathway engaging humor, and I think as usual his speech will be very humorous. I wish him all the very best. And for this particular speech, he will be evaluated on the basis of vocal variety. So this is one aspect that we have to focus upon. That's it. Back to TMOD. All the best to us.
So that's what are we waiting for? Sometimes happens, I fumble up, I stammer. So without stammering, without being tardy, let's bring on the next speaker, TM Arvind Shah, on the stage.
Thank you very much, T-Mod. Well, I love this speech segment because this is the only time when people listen to me for 5 to 7 minutes. Otherwise, who cares when I'm talking? Not even a dog in my street. He started barking after 30 seconds. But it's enough. So when I got a chance to speak in front of you and as a speaker, I have only one condition, and that is what Ritvik is doing. She said, he's T-Mod. I said, I'll be delivering my speech today. So right, so I have a topic that teachers call life. So I'm going to talk about that. In our life, we always have somebody in our family that we admire a lot. We admire a lot for anything. It's your cousin, it could be anyone in your family, your uncle or anyone. I also have such person. His name is Mahavir. Mahavir was something like Shah Rukh Khan from BDL, good at everything. He was good at playing sports. I mean, he was the swimming champion of his school. He was the cricket champion of the school, and he was also the cycling gold medalist in the school. And he used to love me a lot. He's my elder cousin. So he also tried to imbibe his skills in me. So first he tried to teach me how to swim. He ended saving my life 3 times.
Then he tried to teach me cycling. I ended up putting my leg in the rear wheel of the cycle, fracture followed by plaster for 3 months. Then he tried to teach me cricket. He was the opening batsman of his school. So he tried to give some skills to me. Earlier, he used to win every match, but gradually he started losing every match because I was in his team. Is that his fault? No, it wasn't. Was that my fault? No. I was dyslexic. But I didn't know it. That's the best part of 19. We didn't know anything. Ignorance was bliss. And even Tare Zameen Par was a bit tardy. It took 7 years to release that movie. And before Tare Zameen Par, kids like me were known as only one name, and that was Duffer. And I was flamboyantly Duffer. I didn't mind people calling me Duffer because that was 19. There was no body shaming, there was no racism. In fact, me and my brother was the raciest people in the entire history of racism. My brother I used to call my brother Kali because of his dark complexion, and he used to call me white pig, that too in Hindi. We kept calling each other with those names until we passed our school. And Mahavir was the person with whom we spent our whole summer vacation time. He was the one who introduced me to Michael Jackson, and we all night we tried to do that moonwalk and slide glide walk. I tried to learn everything. He tried to teach me Eminem, rap, and all that, Backstreet Boys. It was all our anthem at that point of time. He used to enjoy that. I used to call Mahavir Salbhai because he taught me to wear those torn jeans, cargos, the cool chains. So he taught me many things in my life. When I got passed from my school, we got separated. We got separated because both of us got busy in our own life. And this went for a very long time, for 10 years. He was doing well in his life, I was doing well in my life, and we have a mutual admiration for each other. Then the black time came in our life. 2021, COVID was at its peak. May, June was the time. COVID was the time I got up. It was a time when you could smell the death in the air. That was the time. It was pretty scary. I got a news that Mahavir is suffering from COVID and his family is struggling to get him a bed. I was dead too scared. I wanted to meet him, but I couldn't because of the obvious reason. But after that few days, I got to know that Mahavir is doing well, and he's got a bed nearby his house, and he's keeping his health well. After a few days, it was June 8th. I woke up with a sweet dream that Mahavir and I are sitting in a porch of our hometown, which is in Uttarakhand, and we're looking at the peak of a mountain which is covered with snow. I woke up with a smile on my face. It was 10:00. I got ready for office, and I was working from home, so I logged in and I started working. 10:08, my father knocked my door and he said, Mahavir is no more. It was a shock. The nostalgia and everything started appearing in front of my eyes, and I felt the person whom I wanted to thank for giving me everything in life is no more. I wanted to thank him, but he's no more. The lesson that I've learned from this, the first lesson, never sacrifice your today for the flashy tomorrow. What I mean by that, nature has given us few luxuries, basic luxuries, good sleep, nutritious food, and quality time with your family and friends. Take care of it. Do not take that for granted. The second thing is appreciate little things, people around you. Ritik is wearing a nice shirt, appreciate him. He's also wearing a nice cargo pant, appreciate him. We all should appreciate people. We never know the next day the person would go, maybe he changes city, maybe he moved to another country. Appreciate people. Another country, I said. Another country. So it's a good thing. America or something, better country. So appreciate. No, not that place. Appreciate people for such things. And the third thing is show gratitude to whatever you have. I know we don't have a good job, we may not have a good salary, we may not have an iPhone, we may not have a car, but we have a good health and our loved ones are healthy. So that's the thing I think we should all love about, and I think I'm on my time. Thank you very much, timer. That's it from myself. Thank you very much. Over to you.
How many of your times you started certain things with having a smile on your face and great sense of humor and ended up just about to get to grind? Well, it was a huge round of applause again for it. Please do give enough feedback on your chips that you have in case you're having, so that we get a holistic evaluation from the public. Now let's move to the last prepared speech of today's evening. It's none other than our veteran Toastmaster, TM Ankit Sinha. Now, before calling him on the stage, obviously, I'll be calling his evaluator, the president of CDTM, TM Pradyuman, on this stage.
So just like Toastmaster Arvind, Toastmaster Ankit will also be delivering his level 1 project-free speech of the pathway engaging humor. I would be evaluating this speech, and the objectives of this speech on which Toastmaster Ankit will be evaluated would be for the speaker to practice vocal variety. How high can he go up in his tonality, how low can he go, and or use his body language to enhance his speech. Let us wish Toastmaster Ankit the best of luck, and that is from my side. Back to the team.
Now coming on the stage with a speech title, a very beautiful one. Pari TM Ankit.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster.
Good evening.
She turned numb. Her heartbeat was racing up. Her whole world was turning into a dark space. No hope, no life. She could clearly see her parents' eyes asking her to understand each and every word, what they were about to see. The truth exploded to establish its existence. We wish to be separated. We have been trying to notch this marriage since years, but our marriage is taking long. You are and shall always be our top priority. Your happiness is always our top priority. But I'm sorry, dear, we cannot stay it together anymore. She had always seen them arguing. Whenever her eyes rolled up, she saw them that they were arguing all the time, and the reason was given that they were clearing their difference. Though she knew that they were fooling her. A smiling, charming little girl was turning into an unsocial, gloomy figure. Pari beta, are you listening? We are trying to tell you something very serious. Suddenly, all thoughts came to her heart. Yes, Papa, I am. I know you expect me to understand. I promise I'll give you a sincere answer. Pari, I know it's horrible for you, but I guess you know how things have been. If we stick together anymore, it would not only work for us, but for you too. I know I'm speaking unbelievable. I have spoiled everything, but now you have to choose between them. That was an unbelievable situation for Pari. She sat, clenching her pillow, firm, unshaken. So, Papa, have you done with the formalities? Have you filed the divorce? Astonished at highly improbable reply,
Her mother, who was sitting in the corner, spoke embarrassingly. Yes, 26th of this month, almost done with the family. She had been reading about it for over a month. But every time she started reading an article, she could experience a lump in her throat. She was just 13-year-old girl. From the passage of time, due to circumstances, she had grown up much older than me. Would I get chance to choose between you two? Would my opinion matter? She fought back her thoughts. No matter how much they hated each other. But the fact that they have a 13-year-old kid was killing them. Yes, my dear, you ask her. Whatever we could do, we will try. I wish to live with my grandma. Her words created a vacuum in the room. She loves me, and I feel heaven whenever she embraces me. She has been living alone for years. I understand that you don't have time to visit her very often. But I'll be there with her all the time. At least she will have someone to talk to care for, whenever she needs it, so that she could cook recipes for, she can share food for, so that there's someone who could take good care of. I will have family which I never had. I'll be there for her. She'll be there for me. Her parents left speechless. The guilt that they have done injustice to their loved ones was eating them. But they have taken a long way. Silence ran across.
You have kept us such a pretty interesting topic, but I don't know why all the stories that are coming up are so gloomy. Okay, let's not go into all those things. Now we are going into a session in which, so before that, let's vote for the speakers, right? So I'm pretty sure it will be a very hard competition among the best speakers. So guys, everyone, kindly vote for the best speaker of today's evening that you have seen. The checks will be given to you. Kindly cooperate. So first we had the first speaker, Raghav Luna. Please raise your hand. He's the first speaker. Secondly, we had TM Arvind Shah. And third, we had obviously TM Ankit Sinha. So out of three people, whom do you think was the best speaker of today's evening? Surely you're gonna have a really hard decision to be made. Okay. With such three phenomenal speeches, it's really hard to really understand that. Kindly vote, exercise the democratic right. I hope the faces are clear, right? The speakers, Raghav, Arvind, and Ankit Sinha. So let's move to let the ballot roll, the box come up. So the votes are done. You've all with the clicks, right? At the end. Okay. Now, while we have heard the speeches and somewhat the bruises are fresh, let me also put up some more bruises on your body. Now, what I mean by bruises here, it's just revelations about your own character, about your own life. Now, if you would have heard Arvind's speech clearly and attentively, you'll surely understand cycling, cricket, all of those things happening all around. Now, let me bring out something interesting here, which is very much related to my own topic, focus. Sometimes we fail at creating practical goals for ourselves. For example, you know that you have the ability to sit down on the chair for 6 hours. Then why to have a routine of 14 hours? Therefore, the first step towards focusing at something is focus and having a practical, real goal for this. I'm giving an example. Now, I'm an UPSC aspirant. Now, I have my own errands and course throughout the day. Now, the whole day runs in a very practical, in a very routine way. The routine runs pretty clear. I got to study for this many hours. This is the number of chapters I have to finish. For the time being, I am doing my optional. So, I'll be doing all this. Now, all of this is having a cognizance about the fact that I cannot study for more than 14 hours. I got to stay within that max. So therefore, one, I know the practicality of my sitting hours. Second, I know what my focus is. And third, I know what my goals are. Because my goals will give me that motivation. Now, a simple exercise for all of you to have in your own life. It's a live example for you. First, the first day of your routine, have something, make a blueprint. See whether you can do that or not. You can commit to that or not. If you feel it was very easy for you to commit to that routine, means the routine is falling short. Or the opposite way, if you feel that you are not able to do it no matter what happens, it clearly means the whole routine is something that is not practical for you. We can surely reach to those limits, but gradually. Therefore, after having 2 failures, it's for you to have a ground reality check that this is the number of hours I'm going to sit and make a practical routine and then follow through. So 2 mistakes, 2 days of unreal aspiration, unreal routine, followed by a 3rd day practical routine and consistently following that. Maybe increasing 30 minutes every day and then going up to your goal. So this is the practice for you. And something I've learned through one of the Toastmaster SLPs itself. I remember our present district governor himself giving a very, very insightful statement that I will always cherish throughout my life. It was none other than this quote: when you accept one, reject 2. I repeat, when you accept one, reject 2. So let that sink in. Many a times in our lives, we have gone forward in accepting everything that comes up to us, and we end up doing nothing about it. So first, we got to give enough time to a certain thing, and for that, you got to accept one offer on anything and reject the 2 other offers that you seem that I can do it. But honestly, fella, you won't be able to do it. So it's one at a time. That's clear. Now, a lot of sermons done. We are pretty falling short of the most interesting part of today's session, none other than the table topic session. So what are you waiting for? And a disclaimer to all the guests out there. This is a session specially crafted for you. Still will be having a members, but you guys are encouraged to please come on the stage and participate. So, without any further ado, let's bring on the table topic master of today's Twilight, TM Farid, on the stage.
Thank you so much, Ritvik. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. So I am Farid Ahmed, and I am today the table topic master of the day. Before that, I want to touch on that theme, which is also like you said, kissing the stars one at a time. So I thought, what is this? Ritvik is the person that always think different And so today, I think he is thinking to go the galaxy and getting the stars. I think this is so that's really amazing theme you have brought up today. I got to know that conquer the fears. So I just conquered my fear, like speaking the English and in the public speaking. So still this is continue, but a little bit. I think 40-50% that is I conquered because I came from small village in Uttar Pradesh and where I have done my education is completely Hindi medium. Even in graduation also I have an Hindi medium. So when I came on Delhi, I just went to interview and just I failed first or two times attempt because I was not able to speaking any in single sentence. I know everything that's grammatically, but I could not speak even a single sentence. Then I started to learn and speaking in practice. So today, what I'm not a complete person, but still I'm learning. That's why I have joined Toastmasters. Still I'm learning, and I can build up my confidence and gradually. And so that's I conquered in my fear, like speaking in English. So that's but I'm learning, and so this is the best platform which I found, and I will be continue on that. So that's about the theme. Thanks, Ritwik, for this wonderful theme. Today the topic table topic master I am. So what is about this table topic master? This is very interesting. I would say very exciting segment in Toastmaster, which I found I like very much. Because there's a fun sense of humor of the people, and this is very I would say a lot of learning because every individual is different thought and perspective and they are seeing here in different thoughts, so which I'm learning and everybody is learning, I think. Table topic master, table topic segment, which there is a random topics should be given to you, and there is a limit of at least 1 minute each speaker has to speak on that, and in 1 minute the timer will show you uh, green card, and after 1 and 30 seconds yellow card, and after 2 minutes this is a red card, and 30 seconds of buffer time for all of you to wrap up your speech. So I would encourage guests come forward and speak the topic, because this is the segment where you can improve your impromptu speech. Because you know that in professional personal life, somebody asks you question and you just blank. Okay, what is the answer and what I should say, and so you stuck somewhere. So this is the segment where you can improve your thought process. You are creating the thoughts quickly and just answer the question of the boss or the professional life. Your boss is asking why you are late, why you have not done this completely. So that is the question you can answer better and not a stupid answer. That's the answer with confidence. Confidence answer you can give your boss, so that they also can, yeah, he's right. Even you are saying the wrong, but you are with confidence, he always agrees with you. So friends, now let's get started for the wonderful segment, and I would encourage all of you, especially guests, this is your segment. You can participate on this platform. Just I would request, who is coming first? I have some chits, so just you have to choose these chits. Please. So
Yes, Dhanil.
yeah, Dhanil, guess Dhanil. So these are the some. So you can choose one of them and just. Okay, it's very really nice topic. So television is dying a slow death with the advent of OTT platform, because lots of OTT platform is coming to television is dying. So the topic is television is dying a slow death with the advent of OTT platform. Yes, Dhanil. Over to you.
Now the scenario of in a modern time, when we were there, television was the sole thing that we could see. Means we have to watch a film, we wait for the Saturday, Sunday for the film, for the regional films and all these things. Now now the new generation, they are equipped with every gadget and the new technologies, so that now OTT platform is one among that. So, for example, if you want to watch a film, okay, there are a lot of options. You can watch at any time, any thing, and you have your money with just you need to have money, and then you can watch the film and the things. So now people, I do not see people even starting the television. So this is happening for watching film. So this is my view. Since I hadn't prepared anything, whatever thing came to my mind, I spoke.
Great. Very good. Guest Hanil. Okay. So who is coming next? Okay. So Akhil. Okay.
What's the reaction if you get chance to visit another planet? But it will quite very interesting.
Okay, so just I can review to all of you. What's your reaction if you get chance to visit another planet? I thought this thought came in mind when I saw the theme because they start kissing stars. So I thought so it's very interesting. So what's your reaction if you get chance to visit another planet? Yes, Akhil.
So I won't take any other moment, but I'll say yes to that. So I want to visit another planet. So first thing I'd like to highlight about was when I read about Elon Musk. So he said, where would you like to die? So he said, I would like to die not on the Earth, but I would rather die on Mars. So that was when I got inspired by the planets and other things and all, SpaceX mission and everything I read about. So yeah, it would be one of the most interesting facts if I get a chance to visit there. And also I'd like to take my friends, families, everyone there. Just go and visit with these so that we can spend time over there. So the most favorite planet, something I haven't read much about those planets and everything, but yeah, I'll also like to go and visit Mars. And yeah, that's all. It's a very interesting thing. It's all from my side on the planet. Yeah, if I get a chance, then I will share surely some more things about that planet. What are my experience about that thing and
Thanks, guest Akhil. Yeah, there's Natasha. Okay, guest Natasha. Oh, thanks, Toastmasters, Natasha. Welcome. You can choose one of them.
So when I came, I was looking for someone who is old and I saw all of them. So oh, there is someone.
Okay. What's your opinion about Bollywood and cinema? I read out what's your opinion about Bollywood and Tollywood cinema, because that's nowadays that's the difference about Tollywood and Hollywood. South Indian movies are rising up. So what's your opinion about Bollywood and Tollywood cinema? This gets actor master Natasha.
Does my opinion really matter? If I speak anything about it, I guys will follow it. So many years ago, I decided not to give any of my opinion free of cost, and I became a trainer. What's happening these days? Nobody is caring what's your opinion. Everybody wants to just tell their opinion. So I thought, why not to become a coach and be a good listener that I already learned in Toastmaster and applying now, and listen everyone's story. That's how I became a coach. No matter what you are talking, I am talking. What I understand, what I feel, that if I am giving my opinion to someone, without they asking me, I'm wasting my energy and wasting my time, and I'm losing my productivity. So I stopped giving opinions without people asking me and free advices. I always say, don't give your advices free, because they are not cheaper. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ex-Toastmaster Natasha. That's really learning for all of us.
Once a Toastmaster, always.
Okay, right, Toastmaster, right. Sorry for that because I am a new in this month only I've joined. This is my fourth meeting I think. So I was not aware about these rules. Yeah, yeah. I'm also now. I'm confident now. I'm also. Good, great. So who's the next one who's coming? Okay, you are definitely. Toastmaster. I just
Another
calling you. Great. Okay, so what? Okay, so that's really interesting. A lessons on happiness adults can learn from newborn babies. Lessons on happiness adults can learn from newborn babies. Over to you, those masters.
I was talking to one of my friends. He said that Digan, you know how many times a child smiles? More than 50 times in a day. As the life progresses, this statistics goes down to say 20 times a day for a youth. Once you cross the threshold of 18 years, it halves down after the college to 10 times a day. And once you get married, statistics is already 0 times a day or about to reach that. And after that, it's in negative. No, not just negative. For smiling, you need to apply for license with your Aadhaar card, your passport, your PAN card, your 10 years of income tax statement, and your bank balance. Apart from that, you also need to think about what Twitter will say, what Facebook will say, and what the rest of the things will say. And I think that no one needs license to be happy. No one needs to think what Twitter might be thinking. I remember a joke from my friends. I can smile. Irrespective of the thing that the person beside me in the metro is thinking, I am a lunatic. So friends, there is no license for happiness. No, you need to ask no one for happiness.
Thank you, Toastmaster Digan. And oh, what a coincidence! It's correlated with your theme, happiness, smile, child, like this. What a coincidence! Just I was not aware about his theme. No. Before that, I just prepared in the morning only. So, okay.
We can take one more.
We can take one more. So who wants to come? Toastmaster. Okay. Kavya. Guest. So that's very interesting, I think. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Would you want a superpower? You have to. So get Kavya.
So I think the superpower that I really want to be a part of my life, that I see, is understanding. Okay, so I see this that what every problem, from wherever it starts, if we are good understander of things, if we clearly understand things, we can think clearly and we can sort it out. In today's world, there is so much stress, anxiety, depression, and to overcome each of these things, we require a clear mind. That's why meditation is also an important thing. And without clarity, we cannot go anything ahead in our life. It's very much important. And with all this clarity, we can focus on the solution. We can become solution oriented. If we become solution oriented, automatically the stress levels of our life will be less. So I want to say that the superpower that I really want is understanding, so that I can see things more clearly and I can really focus on all the problems and all the parts of my life where I've been lacking behind, so that I can overcome them. And that's the superpower that I really want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess Kavya. We have one more participant, Toastmaster Rashmi on the virtual stage. Okay. Sorry I forgot that. So we also have a virtual stage. Toastmaster Rashmi. So I can read you. Okay, so this is the topic for Toastmaster Rashmi. Social media, good or bad? Social media, good or bad? Toastmaster Rashmi.
Social media, good or bad? This is debated many a times everywhere, amongst the youth, among adults, and everywhere. It is debated most of the time because we find that social media is present. It has become omnipresent in our life. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I believe nowadays nobody can get rid of these platforms and say that I can fulfill my daily routine or all kind of go through the daily routine without being present on the social media or without using the social media platforms. But the question is that whether you are using it constructively or not. For example, there is a doctor who uses the knife to operate, to perform a surgery, and to save the life of a patient. And the same knife, if used by a thief or by a person who is committing a crime, is going to take away somebody's life. So, my dear friends, it is upon us that we are going to make social media a boon or bane. If we use it in a constructive manner, if we use it in enhancing our knowledge, in enhancing our communication skills, in grasping good messages, and in enhancing, moreover, our business practices. So for good practices, we are incorporating social media into our life, then definitely it's a boon. And if we are using it the other way around, we are trolling people, we are just wasting time browsing how many likes I have got or how many more likes has my friend got. So as it says that if your friend has got more likes than you, it makes you really jealous. Then it becomes a bane. So simply it's upon us whether we make it boon or bane. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. So I think it was a really wonderful session, and thanks to all the wonderful speakers who come forward and have given you thoughts on this random topics. So thank you so much, and I would just over to you, TDM.
So all I can say, there were a lot of interesting topics, and the way he presented in the form of ballots coming and taking us pretty appreciated. Now it's time for the votes. Kindly vote your best stable topics to you feel were the best speaker. First, sir, give me what's the name? Sunny. We had first speaker, guest Sunny. Kindly raise your hand. Then we had guest Akhil. Kindly raise your hand. Then we had TM Digant. Kindly raise your hand. And then we had TM Natasha. Please raise your hand. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Guest Kavya. Please raise your hand. Kavya, sorry. And TM Rashmi. She's on the virtual stage. So kindly exercise your vote. It's pretty important for us to reach to a public opinion of the best speaker. Give the feedback. So I hope the chits are accessible to everyone. Kindly cooperate. So kindly vote. The chits given. Let the ballots roll. Please make it move. No, they can vote. Absolutely, they can vote. They can vote for
Just confirm if everyone has voted one.
So I hope everyone has voted. Okay. So now we all also believe in networking and Toastmasters, and what's better than having a break and having a networking session going. So you go it. This is a break session. Kindly have a 5-minute break, freshen up, and also have some great conversations started. Thank you so much. What a abrupt end to the break. You all guys are having great fun, having connections and all, and then the team won't come getting cursed, and then class and ends all of it. Okay, let's now move forward to a segment which is very indispensable. Honestly speaking, without this segment, your progress is it's completely neglected, to be very honest. So let's bring on someone. So we're giving you a report card of what I have said on the stage. And let's bring on the none other than the beautiful, the Sergeant in Arms of CDTM, TM Pooja on this stage.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Timur, for a beautiful topic. One thing at a time, hitting stars one at a time. I mean, this is so relatable to me that I came to know the actual meaning of the topic after talking to you, what kissing star means. All my life, I've been running around doing multiple things and yet still trying to figure out how to focus on one thing at a time. So I was telling Ritvik about it when he was asking me about my story. I'm somebody who has taken up too many things. And yeah, top priority, if you ask me, I want to be a good speaker. But to be a good speaker, I need to let go of few other things so that I can practice my speeches, I can practice my whatever roles I'm taking up in meetings. But unfortunately, I've taken up so many things that I don't get time to practice. And this is a good reminder for me in general that I need to leave few things, focus on one thing at a time, and maybe take few things later on in life. So thanks, Ritvik, again. Moving on to my role today, I'll be playing the role of general evaluator. And our Timur has mentioned multiple times about the importance of evaluation. Evaluation is very important segment in Toastmasters meeting. This is especially for the guests to know that because since we evaluate, we get the opportunity to be better in every meeting. A lot of times it happens that we think we were best or we don't even know where we went wrong, but it's only because of the evaluation and the feedback that we get the opportunity to improve. So with this, I would like to move on. The evaluation will happen in 3 segments. The first segment being evaluators will evaluate the prepared speakers. Second one, I'll be evaluating the auxiliary role players. And third one being, I'll be evaluating the overall meeting in general. Also, I would recommend, I would expect all the evaluators to please follow CRC approach, recommendation approach. And with this, let's start the meeting. I would like to call the first evaluator of today's meeting, evaluator of Toastmaster Raghav, that is Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Raghav Luna was already a budding speaker. He took up a very interesting topic today, a curve that straightens everything. Well, I must commend him wholeheartedly for the wonderful way he took up to begin his speech. He just asked everybody to pose for a pic with his mobile towards the audience. What a fantabulous way to begin the speech. Everybody put his or her best smile, and we were already into his speech and we were very much aware of the topic. Well, the second thing I would like to comment about him is that he did not give up, even though he forgot his content, but he kept on. He kept on delivering his speech. He did not exhibit any anxiety on the face, neither did he sweat, nor did he show his anxiety at all. He was calm, composed, and just thinking of the content, and he tried to proceed further. Moreover, I would also appreciate that he is a very good speaker otherwise, and his pronunciation is really good. But as the saying goes, every speech can be made better. Today and every day is not every speaker's day. And I believe today was not Raghav Luna's day. So that's why somewhere he missed out on his content. For that, I would like to just give him few suggestions that even though he forgot his content, he could have remembered of some of the incident from his life that made him smile, or that incident which made others smile and made him connect with him. For example, so many times, especially when we are young, we make friends at the first laughter, at the first smile we exchange with each other. He could have remembered some incident and then he could have shared with us. Or he could have narrated some short incident or a story which he would have heard from his mother, father, or friend. That could have made the things quite comfortable and easier. Besides that, he could have also picked up it from the Toastmaster of the day. He gave us the example that how, with a big smile, if he appreciated anybody, so he could make friends even with strangers. So this is one art that he could pick up and incorporate into his speeches, and that could have helped him in curbing the long pauses also that he had taken. Overall, I would appreciate once again his confidence, his calmness with which he began his speech, and never to say die attitude with which he kept on delivering his speech. And I would also like to appreciate him for the way he concluded his speech. That is by giving tips how to keep on smiling in life and keep on connecting with others. Overall, I would just suggest Raghav Luna that he may incorporate these suggestions and try to deliver this level speech once again, or incorporate these suggestions into his further speeches. And definitely, I wish him that he would be coming out with flying colors the next time. Very eager to hear more from him. Back to you, Madam General.
As usual, Toastmasters, Rashmi, excellent evaluation. Moving on to our next evaluator, Toastmaster Navya, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Evan. Thank you, General Evaluator. What's a speech actually? A topic that I personally, if you know my speeches, most of the speeches are related to these topics, such kind of topics. And personally, what I felt in his speech, the most appreciating thing that was the transition. As I told you, he is a very humorous writer. So the way he the way he did transition between humor and the gloomy stuff that he talked about his cousin's tragic death, or his childhood stuff, or like he talked about someone who he was really close to, and talking about them to in front of audience is very difficult. So that transition was very smooth, and this combination particular is very hard to deliver. So very appreciating that he delivered this piece without getting too emotional and being strong and delivering it to his best of his ability. So that is one commendation. Another commendation is that how original the content was and how logical the content of the speech was. The way he began the speech, when he talked about his cousin's, like the things that his cousin has taught him, or the things about 90s, like he being a 90s kid, so the activities that movies that were in that era. So he talked about them, and then gradually he came towards the like when he grew up and how his and his cousin's relationship changed and it grows. So that was very logical throughout his speech.
Just the recommendation that I would like to give, that the purpose that I had to evaluate his speech upon was the vocal variety. And that I felt was a little missed out. Though the speech was amazing, the content was very original and amazing, but the vocal variety during some parts should have made speech to the next level. So what you can do from next time is just while practicing your speech, you can remember those points where you can bring high pitch, and then like when you were talking about the golden days of your in 90s. So those days could have been spoken in a very high pitch, and then when you talked about your change in your relationship, so that could have been in a little low pitch. So that is one recommendation. And that's it. Otherwise, I love the story, how compelling his storytelling skills are that everyone knows. And choice of this topic was very inspiring. That's it. Thank you. Back to the
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Navya, for that detailed evaluation. Moving on now, next evaluator is Toastmaster Pradyum to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Ankit Sinha.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster Ankit. Talking about divorce is never easy, especially through the eyes of a 30-year-old who has just experienced their mother and father's separation. Yet, Toastmaster Ankit did it flawlessly. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Ankit completed all his objectives, field objectives. Coming up to some commendations. What an excellent use of body language when he used the words racing up, when he used the words whole world, when he said no hope, no life. Such an excellent use of body language. The use of stage to represent characters. He used the left part of the stage to represent Pari. He used the right part of the stage to represent his father. That is something which is very commendable. Coming to some recommendations, he could have used his body language a little better. Not the marriage, to show how the marriage is over. The priority being happiness. Certain uses of body language could have been better. Stick together anymore. He could have used his hands as a body language expression to show that the couple did not decide to stick together anymore. And last, I mentioned this in the last evaluation as well. Even those masters did it, even I am working on it. Whenever we don't have anything to do with our hands, we often try to keep them like this or like this. What I have noticed is that keeping your hands just beside you, even if you're not doing anything, automatically makes you do something with those hands, and at the end of the day, those body language gestures come off very well. Ending with some commendation, what an excellent use of expressions. Use of expressions to show the emotion that little 13-year-old girl Pari was going through. What an excellent use of pauses before announcing that divorce date. What an excellent use of pauses before announcing that climax where Pari said she wanted to live with her grandmother. That was all from my side. Back to the team.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradyum. Now I would request the Techmaster to raise the ballot for the best speech evaluator.
The ballot for the best evaluator has been known. We have Toastmaster Rashmi, Toastmaster Pradyum, and Toastmaster Navya.
We have 3 evaluators today. This is especially for
Everyone please vote. We have 3 evaluators.
I think it's going to be a tough call to decide on who was the best evaluator. So the 3 evaluators were Toastmaster Rashmi, Toastmaster Pradyum, and Toastmaster Navya. It's going to be a tough call to decide who was the best evaluator because all 3 did a wonderful job there. I think all 3 followed a CRC approach. Starting with Toastmaster, are we done with the voting?
Has everyone voted?
Yes.
Yes.
So Toastmaster Rashmi did started with a very warm and welcoming tone for Toastmaster Raghav and did provide necessary recommendations that were required to improve and for his next speech. Also, Toastmaster Navya and Pradyum's CRC approach was followed. So great job done there, and you both explained great with great body language, the gestures, the examples. So overall, great evaluation, no recommendations there. Now I would like to call upon the auxiliary role players, the pillars of our meeting, to share their reports. Starting with the timer, Toastmaster Hriday. Can you please come on stage?
So I would just tell you the time which was taken and what was the qualifying time. So starting from now, the speakers. The first segment in which everyone did 11 project 3. The speakers were Raghav Luna. He took 6 and 56 seconds out of 5 minutes. Followed by Arvind Shah. He took 6 and 30 seconds, and then Ankit Sinha, he took 5 minutes and 46. Now continuing by table topic, guest Dinesh took 1 minute and 27 seconds out of 1 minute. Guest Akhil took 1 minute 2 seconds out of 1 minute. Guest Natasha, Toastmaster took 1 minute and 21 seconds.
He is not there.
Toastmaster Dinesh took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Sorry for if I mispronounce the name. Guest Kavya took 1 minute and 31 seconds, and Toastmaster Rashmi took 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Now the evaluation segment. Toastmaster Rashmi took 3 minutes and 22 seconds out of 2 minutes. Toastmaster Navya took 3 minutes and 15 seconds out of 2 minutes, and Toastmaster Pradyum took 2 minutes and 9 seconds out of 2 minutes. Hence, no one is qualified.
Now I would like to call upon the listener for today's meeting, Toastmaster Rajiv, on the physical stage. We need some time to prepare. As was just checking your impromptu skills.
Okay, so probably before the start of the meeting, I was little formal because I did not have my lunch, and I bought juice as a token of appreciation who will answer me to give you energy because it's already the end of the day. So here it is. Just so I hope you guys have listened carefully to each and every one speaker, and I'm going to pose questions. So please raise your hand. Do not answer in the between. So the first question, I was really trying to frame questions what Toastmaster Raghav spoke in the speech, but it was really tough. But I thought of that. So he spoke about that children, how many times children laugh in a day?
400.
No, you're not supposed to say. So okay, because okay, so I'll pose only 5 questions. Okay, I'll have another question. How many times adults laugh in a day?
100.
Not the you one, but the normal one.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's wrong.
Is it you? Yeah, sorry. No. Guess. No, wrong. Kavya, 40. Yeah, you're right. Juice for you.
I'm 10. Okay. No, I have. Okay, so now Toastmaster Arvind. He spoke about his specific time, what time his father knocked it. Can anybody tell apart from Toastmaster? Okay, somebody. Okay. Yeah. Oh, great. Can you help me? Because our VP membership is behind me. So 3 lessons that Toastmaster Arvind learned in his lifetime. I'm not asking all 3, at least one if anybody can answer. Okay.
Appreciate small little things, family, friends, your time with family, friends.
So you are close by, appreciate little things around you. Okay, Toastmaster Ankit in his speech said a lot of things what Toastmaster Pradyum repeated again and again. So I was little a bit, because my question was framed around this and he made sure that you listen to him once again. So let me ask you the question. The name of the girl that you, sorry, okay. Okay, so how many left? 1, okay. Okay, so let me ask the hardest one. I don't know, like, I don't know. You repeated, so it made my job very difficult. Yeah. Okay, so probably I'll go back to again Toastmaster Raghav. So what does smile stimulate in a person? No.
I'm not supposed to speak.
It is endorphin.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, thank you. I think I'm done with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think today we all were very active in listening to the meeting. Next is our accountant Toastmaster Kanav on stage here.
So actually didn't wanted this role because I have to, as a lawyer, I have to learn to say which is pillar is lawyer, मतलब judge. That's how or anything what it also sometimes which I don't do. So starting, I would like to start with speeches. So the 3 speeches were, the pauses in them were amazing. In one, I didn't like the pauses. Second, I liked the pauses. Sorry. So Raghav was pausing too much, and Toastmaster Ankit was very good at pauses. And speaking of Toastmaster Arvind, he once said in his speech, you should be grateful for people, and then pause. I thought मेरा नाम रहेगा. Just a joke. I thought he would say my name. And now with my report, the sergeant at arms used at 4 times. Ritvik used 1 time. Hriday used 2 hours. Anmol used 1 so and a pause and 1 whatever. Toastmaster Rajiv 2 hours. And coming to table topics, Toastmaster guest Daniel used 2 hours. Toastmaster Farid 3 hours. Guest Akhil 3 shows. And Navya used 2 hours, and those whose name I didn't use was good, flawless. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanav. Next we have Toastmaster Anmol, language evaluator for today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Madam G.
think everything's fine. Well, it's a bummer that I didn't get the juice. Right? It is dopamine, and I stand by that. Now let's come to the good use of English, that were good use of grammar, I would say. Starting with the theme of the meeting, kissing the stars one at a time. First, I didn't understand the theme, but now I do. I do understand what the meaning of it, and great use of grammar. And now going on to the other sort of great uses of grammar. Contagious and infectious, the curve that straightens everything. Imbibe, ignorance was bliss, smell of death in the air, turning into a dark sphere, firm and unshaken, created a vacuum. These were some of the great use of grammar, and kudos to our speakers. Now, yes, of course. Now, some of the bad use of grammar, they were a little less. I would say, I think only two. One was pleasure giver. Sounds very weird. Or the other one was black time. It's actually a dark time. It's not a black time, it's a dark time. Now, coming on to the word of the day. The word of the day was used by 4 people. And please give a round of applause to Toastmaster Digant, Toastmaster Rashmi, Toastmaster Ritvik, and Toastmaster Arpit. Thank you all. That's all from my side. Back to you, G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anmol. So I'll try and keep the report crisp and short because of the time constraint. Yes, we have Toastmaster Digant as a parliamentarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Digant.
So friends, someone asked me, Digant, in my heydays at Toastmasters, Digant, there are 2 clubs. The one club is the Central Delhi Toastmasters. Other club I would not like to quote, so you have to bear with that. And which club is the best club? I never compared any club, so I gave a clear answer. As per my opinion, Central Delhi Toastmasters is the club which stands for its skills, and it stands for orderly functioning of the meeting. There is no much breaking of rules. So, by those standards, I believe club has performed well. There were 2 incidents of crosstalk. There was one mention of little bit unparliamentary language relating to racist comments. So just as a suggestion, although it was just a minor mention, but just a suggestion. If you have to say, you would like to, my friend used to call me a, never mind, something like that. So that creates an impact also. Without just mentioning the word, you are creating a humor also. Like you might be saying something much more weird as a parliamentarian. I would not like to tell. But apart from this, there were 3 times interruption between the speeches or the performances. These we can avoid as it distracts the speaker from their flow of content. There were 6 times exit without applause. Majority of time, the exit was by a guest, so we can discount that factor. But one thing that I would like to mention as a suggestion is that we can take note of the thing. We need to close the door every time we enter, because internationally also this also helps out in other places. Last but not the least, but little bit important point is there were 2 people who didn't switch on their video. So we would like to see your nice face if you can switch on the video. With this, the meeting was really as per the parliamentary rules. With this, I sign off.
Beautiful report, parliamentarian. Moving on, can I request the Master to raise the poll for the best role player? Best auxiliary role player. Yes. So auxiliary role player, we had timer, Toastmaster, whether listener, Toastmaster, Rajiv, language evaluator, Toastmaster, Anmol, And our counter, Toastmaster Kanav.
5 seconds. Countdown.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think you all are done voting now. Or are we still deciding? So, starting with the overall overall review of today's meeting, starting with Sergeant at Arms, the meeting will start on time today. Did Sergeant at Arms mention the mission of the club?
Yes.
Alright, and was Sergeant at Arms energetic enough?
Yes, I think so.
Perfect, okay. I think President did a great job. As usual, 30-second silence was maintained. He introduced the guests, and also the guests were introduced well. T-Mod, Toastmaster Ritvik had a wonderful theme, and we all could relate to the theme. He explained the meeting structure very well, and all the players were introduced. Well job done, T-Mod. Coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster Farid. Wonderful topic, very engaging. We all had a great laugh, and you did manage to pick up some really wonderful topics. And coming to the auxiliary role players now, the pillars of our meeting, as I said earlier. Starting with the timer, Toastmaster Hriday, he explained all the role players, auxiliary role players explained their roles very well. And just one suggestion for Toastmaster Hriday, maybe you can make it a little more engaging when you're saying the timings. You can make it a little more interactive on some different manner, like the presentation can have been better. Apart from that, all the role players, as I said, the reports were crisp and perfect. And that's all from my side. Over to the team order.
Thank you so much. Well, I won't take much time as we are facing a paucity of time. Just repeat 2 things for what you have learned from today's session of mine. First, practical routines. Please repeat with me. Practical routines. Second, the code of the day. Reject 2 when you accept 1. Reject 2 when you accept 1. Thank you very much. Over to the president.
So moving on, let us have the polls for the best role play for the day. If there are some issues on the virtual stage, I request the virtual members to send in their votes through the chat box. Others can vote through the physical ballot that's on the stage. For the best role play. Okay, so it was the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster with a dashing green shirt. Or was it our general evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja? Or was it a table topic master, Toastmaster Farid? Well, if votes are being collected, who do you think was the best speaker for the day? Was it Toastmaster Raghav? Was it Toastmaster Ankit? Or was it Toastmaster Arvind? It was Toastmaster Arvind.
Oh, wow.
Who do you think was the best favorite of the speaker? Was it guest Dhanil, guest Akhil, Toastmaster Natasha, Toastmaster Digant, guest Kavya, or Toastmaster Rashmi?
Natasha.
It was indeed Toastmaster Natasha.
I was just testing myself.
Who do you think was the best evaluator? Was it Toastmaster Rashmi, Toastmaster Sadyam, me, or Toastmaster Navya? I'm going to take this certificate for myself. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player? Was it our timer for the day, Toastmaster Hriday? Was it our listener for the day, Toastmaster Rajiv? Thanks for the juice. Was it a language narrator, Toastmaster Anmol? Was it our counter Toastmaster Kana, or was it our impromptu in the moment parliamentarian Toastmaster Digant?
Parliamentarian.
It was indeed the one who provided us with replenishing juices.
Now I know the right word. Thank you.
Who do you think was the best role player? Was it Toastmaster or Toastmaster Ritik? Was it our general evaluator Toastmaster Pooja? Or was it a table topic master Toastmaster Khalid? It was indeed a Toastmaster Toastmaster Ritik. Thank you everyone. I request the guests to stay till the end for the guest briefing. Can everyone gather over here on the stage for group pictures?